now we get to apply our knowledge of past tense to things that we will be saying in the present tense and really usually implying the future um, counterintuitively. So I'm referring to a situation where we want to say I want or I need and express that want or express that need toward a complete sentence. What do I mean by that? So we already know how to want or to need an action. Let's say, я хочу есть. I want to eat. To eat is an action, and I know how to express my want for it. I can also say, мне нужно есть. I need to eat. Again, I'm expressing my need for an action. And we know how to want and need things, nouns. For example, I want a car. Я хочу машину. Or I need a car. Мне нужна машина. But what about expressing a want or need for a complete sentence? For example, I want her to play with me. Or I want that she play with me. Here, she play with me is a complete sentence. And until now, and I'm now referring to my tourist class, we did not know how to do that. For that, for us to be able to express a want or need for a complete sentence, we will need to know the past tense. And now we do. So we are ready. And the structure for this formula is as follows. We're gonna use the word чтобы. Чтобы. Now, чтобы also means, in other applications, it means in order to. But it is also used as the entry point for us to state that, sentence that we want or need. And the sentence itself transforms into past tense. So I want her to play with me becomes я хочу, чтобы она играла со мной. Now, why is it играла? Because играть is to be playing, and it's going to be in the past tense, and I have to agree that to her gender, which is female, so it's going to be играла. Я хочу, чтобы она играла со мной. And the counterintuitive thing about it is that, often we will be saying this about the future, something that we want to happen in the future, but we will be using a past tense. It's implied that, it's like, for example, I can say the word for tomorrow is завтра. And so to make the sentence longer, I can say, I want her to play with me tomorrow. Я хочу, чтобы она играла со мной завтра. And this is the right way to say it. This is probably the only right way to say it in Russian. And it's not absurd at all that I'm using a past tense to talk about the future. And the same approach applies to needing complete sentences. So, for example, we have a sentence, my son reads faster. Мой сын читает быстрее. Okay, now what if I want to say, I need my son to read faster. Мне нужно, чтобы мой сын читал быстрее. Читал because that is the past tense of читать. And in this case, it's son, so it's male. Yeah, so that's why. Let's do another one. They want me, male, to launder their clothes. And if you remember from our class, to wash clothes or to launder the clothes is стирать одежду. Стирать одежду. Они хотят, чтобы я стирал их одежду. Why is it стирал? Стирал because we have the verb стирать, and we need to transform it into past tense. So it becomes стирал. And it's male because I already said that in this case, me, I'm going to be the male. So, so я стирал их, their одежду, clothes. How's that? There's some extra complexity here. It will take, it'll take you a little bit of time to get comfortable with this, but that's why we do this. So let's move on to practice. We want Max to tell us where he was yesterday. And for tell us, let's use сказать нам. Мы хотим, чтобы Макс сказал нам, где он был вчера. Мы хотим, чтобы Макс сказал нам, где он был вчера. At live speed it will sound like this. Мы хотим, чтобы Макс сказал нам, где он был вчера. We need you to help us every day. And we are addressing a female informally. So in Russian, when we help someone, we help to someone. So the pronoun that we'll be using is a dative case pronoun. To help us, to be helping us is помогать нам. We need you to help us every day. Нам нужно, чтобы ты нам помогала каждый день. If you said ты помогала нам каждый день, that is just as fine. Нам нужно, чтобы ты нам помогала каждый день. Did I just misspell? Did I just misspell that word? Just a moment. No, I didn't. Okay, good. Moving on. I don't need you to work here anymore. And we are addressing a female informally. Now, to make the sound correct, let's structure our reply as if we were saying, I more don't need you, and then the rest of it. The rest of it without the word anymore. I don't need you to work here anymore. Мне больше не нужно, чтобы ты работала тут. Мне больше не нужно, чтобы ты работала тут. If you said работала здесь, that is just as fine. What do you want me to tell him? And we are asking a male informally. And for tell, let's use сказать. Что ты хочешь, чтобы я ему сказал? Что ты хочешь, чтобы я ему сказал? I also should have said that when we in Russian, when we tell someone something, we tell it to them. So we're going to use the dative case for him, which is ему. If you said, что ты хочешь, чтобы я сказал ему, that is just as fine. Oh, and another thing occurred to me. If you are a female and you're saying this from a female perspective, then it would be, чтобы я ему сказала. You don't want your son playing with her? And let's make it formal. Вы не хотите, чтобы ваш сын играл с ней? Вы не хотите, чтобы ваш сын играл с ней? Teacher needs all students to read the textbook. If you have done the previous video, I hope you remember what textbook is. Now, teacher is учитель. Учитель. But because when somebody needs something, we put them in the dative case, it becomes учителю. Учителю. The word for student is ученик. Ученик. But when we say all students, it becomes plural. Все ученики. Все ученики. Teacher needs all students to read the textbook. Учителю нужно, чтобы все ученики читали учебник. Учителю нужно, чтобы все ученики читали учебник. Notice that читали it is in the past tense as always, but is always in these exercises, but it's also plural because it has to agree with the plurality of ученики, of the students who are doing the reading, who are acting on that verb. Mother wants her son to have eaten everything. Now, for eating, we know the verb есть. As I said before, in Russian, just about all verbs are imply either a continuous action or a completed action. This time I decided to go with completed action, and so the verb slightly changes. To be eating is есть, but to have eaten is съесть. Съесть. Um, this verb will convert to past tense just like the verb есть. And the word for everything is все. Все. So to have eaten everything is все съесть. Или съесть все. Either way. Mother wants her son to have eaten everything. Мама хочет, чтобы ее сын все съел. Мама хочет, чтобы ее сын все съел. I don't want us to drink alcohol anymore. And for the right word order, this kind of has to be specific. Structure your sentence as if you're saying, I want us to more not drink alcohol. Я хочу, чтобы мы больше не пили алкоголь. Я хочу, чтобы мы больше не пили алкоголь. Notice that the pili is plural because it is we who are drinking it, so it has to be in the past tense and in the plural form. They need everything to work well. From the previous example, I hope you remember that everything is все. And I also want to say that все is of middle gender, middle gender. We haven't used that in my examples yet. They need everything to work well. Им нужно, чтобы все работало хорошо. Им нужно, чтобы все работало хорошо. Notice that работало is in the past tense, but it also has the LO ending because it has to be in the form for the middle gender. And sometimes in my videos, you will see that there's this double accent. When I use this transliterator to make accents, sometimes I like double click and it gives me two accents in one spot. That's a mistake. Wherever you see these two accents, it just should just be one accent. I don't want her buying expensive meat. The word for expensive is дорогой, and it has to agree with the gender of the meat, which is мясо, which is of middle gender. I hope you remember what it is to be buying. The verb is покупать. Покупать. Я не хочу, чтобы она покупала дорогое мясо. Я не хочу, чтобы она покупала дорогое мясо. The word дорогое here agrees with the middle gender of the word мясо, and the verb покупать is in the past tense in the female form because it has to agree with она. All right, this is the last one. I decided to really get creative on this one. I hope you guys will have fun, although there's a lot of new words here. Um, we can pretend like it's a conversation between, I don't know, a subordinate and in a boss who's in a very bad mood. So he asks formally, "What do you need?" And the reply that he gets informally, in the informal form, is, "I need you to stop asking stupid questions and to faster do what I say." All right. Now to stop, there's several words for that. Uh, for this one, let's use перестать. Перестать. Now, to ask questions, we could have also said we could also said спрашивать вопросы, but it's better to say задавать. Задавать, which is like a derivative of to give questions. Stupid is глупый, which when agreed with plural noun becomes глупые, and questions is вопросы. One question is вопрос, and plural is вопросы. What else? To do what I say. In place of what, let's use то, что. Not just что, but то, что. And finally, I say, in this case, we should say, like I tell, and do what I tell. Что я говорю. Что я говорю. All right, I know that's a lot. Take a moment to figure it out. It's the last one. So I decided to go out with a bang. Что вам нужно? Мне нужно, чтобы ты перестал задавать глупые вопросы и быстрее делал то, что я говорю. So the key here is that our verbs of what this boss needs the guy to do are in the past tense. Перестать becomes in the past tense, and делать becomes in the past tense. The word for быстрее, for faster, is быстрее. Быстрее. Maybe some of you did not know that. I should have specified that. And the rest of it is, yeah, I think all the information has been given. Anyway, hope you had as much fun going through these as I had making it. Talk to you later.